Hi everyone, I'm Clem and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Spring as Sprung book tag because we're finally in spring and I can already feel the sun coming and the flowers are going to be blooming. I can't wait because spring is one of my favorite seasons, so I wanted to celebrate spring by doing this tag. This tag was created a few years ago by the naughty librarian. I will leave her channel and the original tag in the description box, so be sure to go check it out, especially if you want to do the tag. First question, flowers. All the flowers we love are blooming again. Pick a book that takes a fresh take on a retelling. I'm going to go with Pride by E.B. Zuboy. This is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice. I think you can tell it with the title. This for me is a fresh take on Pride and Prejudice because it's happening in modern time during two teenagers, two black teenagers, and it deals with the way of living in the neighborhoods, like not in the suburb, like in the neighborhoods of big cities, black neighborhoods. And it was really interesting because the same things were at stake in this one, but at the same time E.B. Zuboy was talking about problems that actually are happening right now in our society. So this was really interesting and there was a lot of angst, and that's what I love, so I really enjoyed this book. Cadbury mini eggs, obviously the superior springtime treats. Pick a book that is for you a sweet treat. I picked To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han because this book is so cute and so romantic at the same time, and I love it. It has everything I like, not the hate to love tropes, but like fake dating, and I don't know, the relationship between Peter Kay and Laura Jean is just amazing. And I don't know, this book is so sweet. I love reading it. I don't know, it always makes me happy when I read it. Allergies. Seasonal allergies often make your eyes water. Pick a book that made you cry. So if you've seen my 25 bookish facts about me, if you haven't, I'm going to link it here, if you want to see it. I told you that I almost never cry when reading a book, but I had to pick a book that made me cry, so I picked All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, and I decided to pick it because I saw the Netflix movie and I cried in front of it because this story is super sad. And also I really like this book because it really surprised me, like it was a good surprise because I bought it without knowing what it was about or without really wanting to read it, but it was amazing and I don't regret at all to have picked this book and to have read it because I loved it. Spring break. It's the perfect time for an adventure. Pick a book involving a road trip. I'm going with Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. I've read this book last year and this was my third book by Morgan Matson, and it's definitely my least favorite because I didn't really care for the characters and the road trip is here but it's not really interesting, and I don't know, there were things I didn't really like about this book. I don't know, I can't remember what actually, but what I like is that Morgan Matson included like pictures and drawings and like things you would collect during a road trip, and I really liked that. Spring cleaning. Out with the old, in with the new. Pick a book to unhaul. If I had to unhaul a book, I would unhaul If You Find Me by Emily Murdoch because this book's been on my shelves for 3 or 4 years now. I still haven't read it. I don't know what it's about. I'm sure it's really interesting, but I don't have any interest in it anymore, so it's still on my shelf so far, but if I had to unhaul a book, I would unhaul this one. Mating season. It's the time of year in the animal kingdoms to make some babies. Pick a book with some smutty delights. I don't read a lot of books with smutty delights, and I feel like the last one I read with some smutty delights might be Red, White and Royal Blue. I didn't enjoy this book, mainly because of the smutty delights, because it was too much for me. Like, not too much like chalk, but I was like, oh, gross. But not gross like because of the sex, but because it was too cheesy and ugh. Like, I mean, yeah, I didn't really enjoy this book. So yes, Red, White and Royal Blue. It's the story of the son of the President of the United States and the son of the Queen of England. They meet, they fall in love, and it's complicated. Rainbows. I just feel spring is made of freaking rainbows. Pick a book with a LGBTQ or plus character. I'm going to pick The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, yes, by Mackenzie Lee, because I've read this book 2 years ago. I loved it. It's happening in the middle of the 18th century, I feel like, and you're following Monty, and he's going on a road trip with his best friend slash lovers slash crush and his sister throughout Europe, and a lot of things are happening. I really enjoyed this book. And at the end it took a path I didn't saw coming. Like, some stuff happened and I was like, oh, okay, let's go with it. It was really surprising but really enjoyable. So yeah, and I also really need to read the second one, so that's why I'm picking it, also for me to be a reminder, like, go read the second book. Spring Awakening. Pick a book with dysfunctional characters. So without surprises, I'm going to pick One of Us is Lying. So I already talked about this in my wrap-up, my February wrap-up. And for me, all the characters in this book are dysfunctional. And I know it's supposed to be a retelling of a Breakfast Club, but for me, the characters are way too cliche, because you have the jock, the brain, the criminal, the outcast and the beauty. And I just want to slap them all really, really, really hard so they wake up and they stop acting the way they do, because it's total nonsense and bullshit. And the worst is AD, because I can't stand her and I feel like she needs a wake-up call, because girl, you're doing bad stuff and you're a mess. In Like a Lion, Out Like a Lamb. Pick up series that didn't get better as it progressed. And I know a lot of people are going to hate me or to stop following me or anything, I don't know, just maybe not, like, because we're kind on BookTube, but I know that a lot of people are going to disagree with me. But for me, Throne of Glass was a series that had so much potential to be amazing, but then it went downhill. Like, I've read the first 3 books and dear God, I'm courageous, because the third book was something. It was boring, long and useless. I loved the first one. I was so into it. I loved the story it was telling. The second one was amazing, like so good. The third one made me want to die inside. And then I decided to stop reading the book, because there were like, what, 4 books after? And I was like, no, I can't do it anymore. I can't. And I knew what was going to happen, because my 2 best friends read it, and I was like, okay, it doesn't sound good. I don't want to go through this. I don't want to do that to myself. So I decided to stop. And yeah, for me, Throne of Glass is not good. And I'm happy for you if you love it, if it's your favorite series. Good, amazing. You do you and I do me. But that's my opinion, and yeah, for me, Throne of Glass is not good. Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to my channel to see when I post new videos. Also, if you want to do this tag, then you can do it. I tag you. Don't forget to mention me if you do it, because I would love to see your answers. And I will see you next time. Bye guys!